What's up everyone, Lion Roar here, and we have a brand new clan in Bloodline Heroes of Lithis. It is the JINN clan. So of course, I'm going to do a full breakdown and analysis. But first, download Gemstone Legends, a mobile RPG puzzle match game. Use the link in the description to start with free stuff, including a bonus hero. Alright, so we're going to start out as usual by taking a look at the new clan trait, which is called Light of Grace. And it says, reduces the attacker's crit damage by some percent. It looks like it goes up to 20% for level 22 trait. And that's for 4 seconds, stacking up to 3 times when the caster takes damage. So interestingly, we actually get a defensive trait here, and we really don't see a whole lot of defensive traits. There's a couple, but a lot of the traits in the meta are really attack heavy, like big damage boosters and things like that. So here you get a trait where if it synergizes with the actual heroes they go with, the JINN, you want them to soak up a lot of damage and just take a lot of hits. Because when that happens, all the other heroes or champs that are hitting them are going to be then dealing less damage. Now, I'm thinking a trait like this is actually maybe even better on something like a male Ascavarge, who just barrels into the opposing team and is taking all the normal attack hits. And you really can mess up the opponent's momentum with something like that, and perhaps even end the match before they're even able to deal damage. So that's a really interesting trait, and it has the potential to be really powerful on the right kind of hero. Now let's take a look at the new hero's skills, and these are warriors, of which we don't have a lot of great warriors in Bloodline Heroes of Lithis. It is the weaker hero type, so I'm really hoping these are going to be good warriors. Let's see if the skills live up to that. And I want to take a look at the passive first, because that's just the first thing that affects the battlefield. So Power Fountain is what it's called for the male. Energy cannot be gained via actions or taking hits during battle. Lamp gains 70 energy per second and an additional 50 energy whenever any champion except the caster casts an ultimate. Each stack of the caster's willpower increases the lamp's energy recovery by 25% per second. I have 2 thoughts about this. First, that is a mangle of words that are probably unnecessary. It just kind of makes it a little confusing to read, to basically say this hero gains energy in a different way. And my second thought about this is that's all the passive really is. Just another way to gain energy. And is that good or not? I mean, it can be good, but the measure of whether it's good or not is, does it cause this hero to ultimate faster than all the other heroes out there? In that case, it could be pretty good, but that is going to be the measure. If he ends up, using his ultimate at the same time as everybody else, then this is actually a negative passive, in my opinion, because think of all the other passives out there that are actually doing a lot. And especially in this day and age where most of the recent champions have really powerful passives, this just says gains energy a different way. Maybe it's a little faster, but maybe not, especially if there's a lot of Bulko. Then you're still having to think about putting Pure Heart on him and stuff like that. So anyway, let's take a look at the active skill. Divine Protection. Shelters the allied champion with the highest strength, increasing their crit evade rate by 30% and granting them 150 energy when the battle starts. Now that's actually really interesting, because usually your highest strength champion is the one that you want to be dealing all the damage. And the one that you want to be dealing all the damage is usually also the one that you want to ultimate first, because if you can ultimate first, you're probably more likely to win. So this is giving it a head start. However, the same caveat about Bulko, if that's in your meta, which it's in most metas at this point, but if Bulko's in your meta, you still need to have Pure Heart on that hero to be able to, I mean, what's the point in racing to be the first one to have a full energy bar if you don't get to use it? So that would have to be a hero with high strength and Pure Heart as a skill. Okay, Skill is automatically triggered when the protected ally unleashes an ultimate, granting the caster 1 stack of willpower, providing both the caster and the protected ally with a permanent shield equal to 13% of the caster's max constitution. Willpower stackable up to 3 times. I do like that shield. It's defensive. I think shields are always a bonus. It can't be the main thing that's happening, but I also don't think that's the main thing that's happening here. So it's a nice little bonus to add on here. The ultimate is Lamp Conceal. Retreats into the lamp for 5 seconds, during which the caster becomes invincible and restores 5% of their max constitution per second. All right, so before reading the rest, the passive, if it's actually going faster, is basically just making him race to duck out of the battlefield. Excess healing converts to a shield lasting for 10 seconds. Additionally, an extra effect is triggered on the ally or enemy with the lowest current constitution percentage. If an ally, it restores 3.6% of their max constitution. Come on, that's nothing. If an enemy, it deals damage equal to 3.6% of the caster's max constitution. Equally nothing. Up to 2000% of the caster strength. I don't think you're gonna reach that, to be quite honest. I mean, unless you're in like the absolute upper tiers of gameplay where the HP is just enormous. Could be, but probably not. I don't think that 2000% matters. Each stack of willpower enhances this effect by 20%. Okay, that is a whole lot of words to, I don't think, do a lot on the battlefield. Like, so the passive and the active kind of like work together. I mean, it does provide a defensive sort of protective feature for your highest strength hero on the battlefield. So, I mean, if this guy is good, it's going to be because he's the ultimate support hero, because he is just racing to duck out of the battlefield, do a little healing. And when I say little, I mean little. And then he comes back in. Probably the match is over at that point. I mean, I don't know. Maybe your matches go longer than mine, but in this day and age, the matches go so fast. I just see him like racing to duck out of the battlefield. You're leaving your team 4 versus 5. You know, he is providing some protective factor. Maybe he made your highest strength hero go off a little early, but I'm getting the sense he doesn't do enough. What do you guys think? I don't know. Like, I'm seeing a lot of words, but I'm not seeing a whole lot of action on the battlefield. But I'm just speculating because obviously this is a brand new hero and I haven't even summoned for it or tested or played with him yet. So I just don't see much here, but it's going to take the testing to see if there is any actual value. I'm a little down on the male. I don't say that much, but let's see if the female's any better. All right, her passive, Double Trouble. The caster's normal attack swings 2 blades, with each blade dealing damage to the target, increasing her attack speed by 10% for 5 seconds with each hit, stacking up to 8 layers. Ooh, I like that. You know, okay, you guys know me. Speed and high damage are the things that I favor the most in this game. And here we get like double hits and high speed. That's fantastic. I mean, 8 layers is enormous. When cumulative damage taken exceeds 50% of the caster's max constitution, the caster will summon a selection immune lamp and retreat into it. They seriously could choose better wording for that, but moving on. After 2 seconds, the caster returns to the battlefield, restoring constitution equal to 20% of her max constitution, resetting the damage taken count. So that's pretty interesting. This passive, you can already tell, feels to me like it's doing a whole lot more than what the male was doing. The active skill, Misty Zone, summons a lamp to emit a mysterious smoke at the target location for 5 seconds. All enemies within the smoke have their hit rate reduced by 30%, and all allies take 20% less damage. Smoke effect persists for 3 seconds after the smoke dissipates or the enemy champions leave it. Additionally, while within the smoke, the caster becomes immune to damage from enemies outside the smoke. That's very interesting. So she's providing support on the battlefield as well with the active skill. Remember, he was doing that too, but it looks to me like while he targets one ally with that, your one with the highest strength, she's hitting many champions on the battlefield. Not only protective by decreasing what your opponents are able to do, but really helping your own allies too and taking less damage. So that is the kind of active skill that I want to see. Now, Thunderous Blade is the ultimate. Summons lightning to enchant the caster's weapon for 8 seconds. 8 seconds is forever. While enchanted, normal attacks become area attacks in a fan-shaped range, dealing damage equal to 160% of the caster's strength. Now, I know 160% seems like it's probably not a lot, but remember, her passive is causing each normal attack, of which this is, to hit twice. And now with the ultimate, it's an area of effect attack. So it's going to do a lot more damage than it looks like it's going to do. Enchanted normal attacks also release lightning bolts on hit, dealing true damage equal to 200% of the caster's strength to the target and one random nearby enemy. Enchantment duration is not consumed while in the lamp concealed. I love what I'm seeing with her so much more than what I was seeing with the male. I can tell you right now, I usually at the end of the videos when I tell you whether I like the male or the female, I love the female way better than the male based on what I'm seeing here. And she seems to have all the ingredients to be a sneaky good type of damage dealer. I say sneaky good because we're seeing a lot of unique things here. And it's going to take testing to figure out if it is actually good. But I like what I'm seeing here with the damage dealing. And she's a warrior, so you can put her right up front. I would probably try to make her beefy because she's a warrior. Kind of like treat her like a tank, if you will. Same thing for him as far as traits go. So let's talk about traits for a moment. I think, you know, I would probably go with honorable on her, but there are some other traits that I favor too, which would lead me away from something like energetic potentially. Because there's only so many traits you can put on. But the things that I like for her are honorable because you're going to have to protect her, at least at first. The warriors do tend to be a little squishy, which is weird to me, but all the warriors are always a little bit squishy. I also like the Kivok trait here because of how many opponents she's hitting and how often she's hitting them. Remember, that trait is going to cause the opponents that are hit to take more damage. So that's why I like putting something like that on her, because it's going to make your whole team deal more damage to those opponents. And also because, of course, strength is being used here, you're going to want brutal on here. And then you've got another trait to play with, which there's so many great damage dealing traits to go with. I mean, just stick aggressive on her is like another great one. Fierce is another one if you don't have aggressive, and another just kind of normal vanilla trait that is going to deal a lot more damage. If you really, really want to take advantage of maybe like a high strength hero and the shield effect that's going on, especially in combination with honorable, you could even do steadfast here, which is the gold tongue trait, because you'll get shields that will then go on to the heroes. With honorable, it's a lot harder to take the shields down. So I kind of like that too. You know, I feel like the traits for the male are similar with that, minus the Kivok trait. There's no reason to put the Kivok trait on him. And really his would be more protective. So you could use energetic on him, especially because he's doing things with max constitution, like healing and damage. But I mean, you can do whatever you want. Maybe you guys like the male. I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm just sharing my opinion. This isn't purely speculation video, but I'm leaning female anyway, so that's who I'm gonna go with. But let me know what you think in the comments. If you enjoy videos like this, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification, and I will catch you in the next one.